So this is Deliverable 1-2. I'm Cadet Nick Prestipino with Parker Gahagen and Ryan Morgan. So basically this is our first IPR of our deliverable interface, and we're starting here on our user interface, which is our retirement calculator. And then real quick, I'll just go through our tabs, which is basically just kind of all our lookup tables. So our first one is the contribution for our thrift savings plan. So what we kind of did here was just the different options for the contributions, and then like it said on the website, the DoD auto gives you 1%, and then the DoD will match that what you contribute or a little less, which will give you an eventual total value. And we use this table, which will show back in our retirement calculator later, to get a value. Our next one is basically our promotion table. And then we have our pay table here that we're looking up later. Our BAH table with our dependents, BH table without dependents. Here's a reference sheet for us, and then this last one is for the GI bill, which basically has a zip code for the BAH and the future value and present value for the different years of a GI bill. So going back to our user interface, we kind of start with like in the future, what we're going to do with our final project is have different options for this. So we can choose between a blended and the pension plan. Right now we're just focused on the blended plan, and I'll show the job type, which would vary between military and civilian DoD. So then basically for the first kind of lookups we have here is our current rank. So we have the drop down menu, which you can change the pay grade, and then which current years of service you can give yourself that, which will change the value a month based on that pay grade table we have. And then estimated, and then from there we go into the estimated at ETS, and you can choose what you plan on being there and for the time you plan on being in there, which again will spit out another value based on our pay table down here. And then, like I said, for our future final project, we're going to have a lot of civilian options here, but we haven't gotten to those yet. But these are just kind of space holders for that eventually. Moving on, we have our contribution area. So basically, this goes back to the contribution lookup table we talked about. So if we put in the percentage, it's going to spit back out that total percentage that the what's it called? That is just going to give back to you. The thrift savings plan is going to give back to you. And so, for instance, if we chose 3%, it's going to take that total value from here. So 3% is 7%. So it's going to take that 7%. This value right here is 7% of your basically your monthly service. And then right down here we have a spot for our estimated tax. So the person the soldier can input their kind of tax rate for the year, and then back here in our value of month, it will take away from, or it will multiply it by the value of the month for your current pay. Moving on, we have a spot to implement your special pay. So whatever the soldier has available for a special pay, so say it's $150, it'll just go in right here. Finally, we get into our BAH lookups. So basically, we have two different tables for this, with dependents and without dependents. And if you choose that you have dependents, you click yes, and then all the calculations will be done in this one, in this table. If you choose no, this will shift down here and go down to BH with dependents. And basically what you just do is you look up kind of where you are, and then your grade, which will shoot out your BAH. And then we have another one for your BH at your ETS. So the same thing here, if dependents yes or no. So we go to yes. You figure out where you're going to be living and what rank you'll have, and then it'll shoot out your value there. Same thing, so like I said, with or without dependents, it'll go down here. And finally, we have our lookup for our GI bill. So we have the present value, which is 20,084. And then what will happen here is we have the number of years. So all you do is you type in the number of years in the future you would plan on using it, and then that will change your future value based on an NPV calculation of a 2.8 inflation rate. And then finally for the GH for the GI Bill BAH, we have a lookup table for any zip code that you could put in that will give you the BAH that the GI Bill will cover for that area. So you could change the zip code based on the lookup table in our GI Bill sheet. And then finally, so these are our basic lookups and calculations we have for the soldier's rank, future rank, contribution, tax rate, special pay, dependents, BAH, and the GI Bill. So this concludes our deliverable 1-2. Here are the references that we use for mainly our tables and some calculations.